Hello, everybody. David Shuster here. Imagine being so involved in the Jeffrey Epstein crimes and cover up that you have no hope of getting into heaven. Well, Donald Trump, in a moment of candor on Air Force One, said this.
I don't think there's anything going to get me in heaven. Okay, I really don't. I think I'm not maybe heaven bound. I may be in heaven right now as we fly in Air Force One. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to make heaven.
In a Substack titled Trump Knows He Is Going to Hell, columnist Wajahan Ali wrote, maybe the fading 79-year-old cankled commander-in-chief realizes the Epstein files are bound to come out and all of his alleged sins will be uncovered. Maybe he realizes chasing girls with Jeffrey Epstein and living a life indulged in an endless buffet of gluttonous appetites without any remorse or accountability isn't the best track record to enter the pearly gates. Regardless of why Donald Trump knows that he is doomed, his focus on the afterlife has intensified in recent weeks, fueling speculation about his health troubles.
Country doesn't have religion, doesn't have faith, doesn't have God. It's going to be very hard to be a good country. You know, there's no reason to be good. I want to be good because you want to prove to God that you're good, so you go to that next step, right? So that's very important to me. I think it's really very important.
Trump's afterlife is also increasingly front and center for his family.
Make no mistake, he is heaven bound. He's probably too humble in a certain way to say that. I can say that as a son because I've seen the hand of God on him for a very long time.
Eric Trump says his father has ended wars, and if that's not enough to get Donald Trump into heaven, Eric offers this.
Saving this nation. I mean, DEI is out the window, Benny. I mean, you no longer have Colin Kaepernick kneeling for the national, for the national anthem. You no longer have, a Budweiser going woke as hell, or all of this is dead.
Yes, Eric Trump believes the end of wokeism and DEI is his father's ticket to heaven because, the Almighty truly cares about the national anthem and Budweiser beer. There is a stronger argument that with Donald Trump's alleged rapes, crimes, lies, and coarsening of our society, the Don is going to hell. And if there is such a thing, House Speaker Mike Johnson will be joining him there. Johnson has allegedly been leading a double life personally. Johnson continues to lie about the Democratic position on health care.
They want to give $200 billion to illegal aliens.
No, Democrats want emergency rooms to continue treating emergencies. But never mind that, Johnson keeps delaying transparency in the Trump-Epstein files.
You said last week that you would swear in Adelita whenever she wants. She's written a letter to your office. You've not sworn her in.
Yeah.
I understand about pro forma sessions.
Yes.
Doesn't your resistance to not swear her in add fuel to the fire that this is about the Epstein?
No. Let's talk about Grijalva and Epstein.
On Epstein, the Speaker said a House committee is still going through documents from the Epstein estate and coming up with ways to protect innocent people who are listed in the documents at the Department of Justice. As for Adelita Grijalva, who will provide the 218th signature to force a vote on releasing all of the Epstein files, Johnson said this.
I'm going to be happy to administer the oath to her as I am to every member who wins who is duly elected to this body. It's a great honor. But she won her election after the House was out of session. So we've not had a full session. She deserves to have all the pomp and circumstance that everybody else does. She deserves to have a full House of members and go down and do the speech and have her family and friends in the balcony. That hasn't been scheduled because we haven't had that session yet. As soon as Chuck Schumer opens the government, as soon as Mark Kelly and Senator Gallegos, the two senators from Arizona, Ms. Grijalva's state, will go and join with three others and open the government, we're happy. We'll have that as soon as we get back to business. But we have to get back to business. They have to open the government.
Actually, the government does not have to be open for the House to be in session. Also, other lawmakers have been sworn in abbreviated or pro forma House sessions like the House had in recent days. Johnson swore in 2 House Republicans in pro forma sessions last spring. Johnson's ticket to hell is also being stamped given his approval of federal ICE agents. ICE keeps trampling on constitutional rights and even recently shot a pastor in the head.
Well, I've not seen them cross the line yet, and that we have committees of jurisdiction who have that responsibility, but it's not risen to that level. What I've seen is the abuse of law enforcement by radical leftist activists. Most recently, the most threatening thing I've seen yet was the naked bicyclers in Portland who were protesting ICE down there. I mean, it's getting really ugly.
Yes, Johnson says naked protesters are a bigger danger than federal agents shooting pepper balls at peaceful demonstrators.
We vigorously protect the right to free speech, but you cannot assault law enforcement officers. And there is a line that has to be maintained. It's not risen to the level of Congress yet, but we're watching that closely. And the Republican Party stands for law enforcement. That's where we're going to be. Yes, sir.
Really? Speaker Johnson joined other Republicans in supporting Donald Trump earlier this year when Trump pardoned all of the rioters convicted of attacking police on January the 6th.
Multiple capital injuries! Multiple capital injuries!
Johnson's hypocrisy, his lies, and his running cover for the adjudicated rapist Donald Trump are not heavenly acts. They are the acts of a heathen who prioritizes power and bootlicking a demagogue over everything else. But if Johnson is headed towards eternal punishment instead of reward, there is a silver lining for him. Donald Trump will likely be there first, waiting to show Mike Johnson around. The clock is ticking on Donald Trump and his countless sins, and Trump knows it. By the way, Donald Trump's physical and mental decline are causing GOP leaders and White House staff to speak out.
Portland is burning to the ground. It's insurrectionists all over the place. It's Antifa. And yet the politicians who are petrified. Look, the politicians are afraid for their lives. That's the only reason that they say, like, there's nothing happening. And you've seen it. The place is burning down, and they pretend like there's nothing happening.
Trump's own Secretary of Homeland Security, Kristi Noem, went to Portland and found, while looking across the city from a building rooftop, there was nothing happening except some peaceful protesters below her. There were taunts of Noem in a reference to her years ago infamously shooting one of her own puppies. But nobody was burning anything. Everybody was peaceful, including the guy in the chicken suit.
Secretary, do you have a message to the protesters, especially the man in the chicken outfit?
Man in the chicken outfit? I just see him now. Goodness sakes.
Check out that video at the link below. It generated a lot of comments on YouTube. One of the most popular from Mark Griffith wrote, "When you elect a fool as your leader, you get what you voted for and for not voting at all." Indeed. I look forward to reading your comments about Donald Trump admitting that he is not going to heaven and Mike Johnson taking actions to join Trump in hell. I'm David Shuster. Thanks for joining us.